So I'm here in the one and only, verified by Stephen Register, the builder of this car in Germany. He resides in Florida, and I believe that he's into Aston Martin antiques now. It's 2024, and Stephen Register was an importer of gray market cars back in 1984 when this car was built. It is a 1978 450 SLC 5.0, of which they were only 2,769 made, including the 500 SLCs, which had a 4-speed transmission instead of the more durable 3-speed, which this car has. And this car has all the gray market paperwork, import paperwork, and I see that I gotta hit the brakes because that seems to be some type of authority with some writing on the back of that SUV. I don't want to get pulled over. But this car is a real highway cruiser. It's got a 2.72 rear end in it, as all of the 450 SLC 5.0 cars do. And that gives it a little bit more guts than your standard 5-liter that has either a 224 or a 247 in it. So it gives a little bit more revs on the highway. I do actually have another one of these cars, but the really special thing about this car, and I said one and only, is the fact that it is a custom convertible. Right now the top is up because it's sunny and we've got a dark blue interior in here. But I just pulled this car out of storage. It's been sitting there for a while, and this is the real shame right here, is we've got some cracks in the dash, but you can notice that the dash is not original anyway with that glossy finish. So perhaps, you know, some type of cover for the dash would have been ideal even before that happened. When I bought the car, probably about nearly 15 years ago now, I guess, I'm trying to think, it was just after my third son was born. He's actually 12 years old now, so I guess it was about 12 years ago, maybe a little bit more, because he's going to be 13 this fall. But there were some very small cracks in the dash, like I think this one right here was already there. But I don't think that the cold weather really helped that. Bringing it north out of Florida, it's a shame that the owner of this car, who I bought it from, a guy went by the name of Robin Chandler. He actually bought the car from Stephen Register back in 1984 as a either 40th birthday or 25th anniversary present for his wife Gail, and they called it Finally, because they finally got a Mercedes convertible, and not just that, but a really special one with the ability to have. Now I have the cover in the back, but it has a back seat, and the reason that I bought it is because you could fit 3 kids back there. As I said, you know, when our third child was born, that's when I realized that the R107 became kind of a guilty pleasure, even with the jump seat in the back. So I couldn't take the whole family out anymore, and it was leaving my wife at home if I ever wanted to drive the car. Yeah, I could fit the 3 kids in there, which is cool, but in any case, if we wanted to all go out, this was the only convertible that we could take. And that's why I love it. Now, if you want to find a sporty 5-seat convertible, good luck. You're like in the GM A-bodies from like 68 to 72, which, yeah, you know, they can move, but they are freaking huge. So that's why I didn't really want to go for one of those cars. I decided that, you know, this was just ideal for me, being into the R107s. So let me see here. So we got a little bit of tire burn there. It does not have a LSD rear end, so it's actually kind of easy to spin one tire like I did going around a turn. I do actually have another one of these cars, I think I mentioned. It's, I can't remember, I think it might be like number 369, and this one's like number 478. And both of them are 5.0s, 450 SLC 5.0s, but that one has an LSD rear end, and it's tempting to put in here. But I also have a 5-speed manual transmission that I can bolt up to these 450 SLC 5.0s, which you can't do to a 500 SLC, because it's the alloy block configuration instead of the iron block configuration as this is. So that is a reason that I actually think I prefer the 450 SLC 5.0s, because if I want, I can put a 5-speed manual on them, and that's where I think these cars would really come to life. Now, will the transmission hold up? I don't know. Most of those transmissions, the 4-speeds, are really strong. And I know that my friend Jason Birch, who drifts these cars, he has a 450 SLC drift car. That's, right now it's got an American 4.5 in it. And he abuses that, that G76 4-speed that he's got in there. And I have a couple of them, plus I have a G76 that was made for a 6-cylinder, and that 6-cylinder G76 has, you know, overdrive. But you can take the bell housing and the bell housing and the input shaft from a 4-speed V8 and put it onto the 6-cylinder transmission. Now, are the guts of that 6-cylinder G76 as strong as the guts of the V8? I don't know. So that's where I have a question as to, like, what car do I put that transmission into? Do I put it into the other 5.0, or do I put it into this convertible 5.0? Now, the other one is one that I had anticipated, you know, making a kind of a rally car replica, right? But of course with the manual, which, you know, that's not the way the rally car replicas were made. That was my intention. So what I'm thinking here is maybe this one, being a cruiser, maybe ideally having that overdrive to really sink the gear for those highway cruises, and, you know, having this extra torque of the 5-liter, it might work out pretty darn well. And just put one of the 4-speeds in that other car for the rally car replica, right? So anyway, I recently connected with Stephen Register, and he actually seemed like he might be interested in buying this car back from me if I ever sell it. So I'm trying to decide right now, is that something that I want to do? Do I want to sell this car? I'm heading over to the Home Depot. I took the long way just to get some fresh gas running through this thing. So I'm pulling up now, you know, at the Home Depot, and I'll give a little walk around of the car after I get out of it. You know, it's got some issues. You know, it's a 1978, and it is 2024 now. So we're talking about maybe, oh boy. So just to get to the year 2000, that's 22 years, right? And then 24 after that, so 22 and 24, that's 46 years old. The car's 46 years old. And it has been repainted. It's not the original color. It had, you know, run into the garage door when Robin and Gail owned it. So, you know, it's had its fair share of issues. And, I mean, hey, like I said, 46 years old. So with that, I think it's fair to understand that the car is going to have some issues. So let's see if I can find a spot with a little bit of shade. Looks like I got the most shade up here at that bigger one. Not really a lot of shade here, huh? Let's go right here. All right. And let's hop out. And so the car's a mess. I haven't cleaned it. I've literally, like, that's the longest drive I've done in this car, and probably, man, it's certainly more than 5 years, probably. So you see, it's got Recaros, and I had this mat in there because it was in a spot where I was getting some sand in it, and that was obstructing my kickdown that I verified worked, so I had that in there. But I'm gonna take that out and throw it in the trunk. So it's got these Recaros that, you see, there's a little repair that had been done here, and you know, it needs some new dye and maybe a more professional or better looking repair. It's got a little bit of mold that, you know, needs to be cleaned off, right? And it does have a boot for the top when I put it down. I have weather stripping, you know, from other cars that I could put in here, but the weather stripping is shot on that there. But I did replace the convertible top, which was no small endeavor, right? And see here that, you know, I've got some schmutz to get off of the bumpers. So, you know, the car hasn't been washed in a really long time, but I put the Euro headlights in, and I took out the grills because I was planning on switching that to the updated air dam from a 560 SL. I just kind of like the look of them more, and I figured if the car's already modified, you know, why not? So I've got some schmutz to get off of here and clean it up, right? But this car, I really like the way they kept the look of the SLC and the, you know, the longer sloping back. So it does have, let me see, where is the crack in the paint? This concerns me a lot here. See this here? So there's been, you know, when they repainted the car, I think that there was a fair share of Bondo added to it. And let's see. So I put a full chrome grill star in there, you know, a while ago. Yeah, it looks, I have injectors for it, but that motor's shaking, and I wonder if I'm actually missing right now on something. With a shake like that, I do have in the plans to get the full front end redone with a 560 SL subframe. That's on my list of things to do. It looks like I'm starting to maybe get a little bit of sag in the headliner that I put in. So maybe just a little bit of blue in there would be good. It doesn't seem to be, I don't know if it's gonna stick just by, you know, from the heat, but you know, it's been sitting a while. The horn is aftermarket. Let's see, I also have like a full AMG body kit, and I don't know if that is, you know, true to the car or not, but it was something that I was considering. And I don't know, I mean, actually, I'd be interested in getting some comments from people to see what they think about the concept of putting an AMG body kit on this. Now, the AMG body kit would cover up the jack holes, and it might hide the 2-inch rail. There's a 2-inch steel rail that was welded all along the rockers of both sides. That makes this car significantly heavier than your ordinary 450 SLC 5.0. But in any case, so let me show a couple more of the flaws in case. So you can see that the seat there is beginning to have some tears where it connects to the seat frame in the back. The wheels could use a polish. They're bare aluminum, so they actually will polish up to a mirror finish if that's something you want to do. But painted on the center, painted centers with bare aluminum. Trying to think of what else. The air conditioning, that system is notorious, and I don't know if it's acting up now or not, but it's something that you got to plan on that acting up, in my opinion. And I never goof off that. This is from the previous owner. You see I've got the antique Delaware tag on there. A couple of scratches, no dents or anything like that, but so I don't think it needs body work, but I do think that some care for the paint is due. I think that side was the fender that had the repaint, but there's checking and scratches in the hood there, and they were always there the whole time I've owned the car, so not my miscare. I think that one of these were replaced along with the top. There was a dent and like a crack in it, so I got that from another SLC. The top was made with, it may be this side here. This one looks like it's a little bit looser, but I need to check that out. But it's interesting the way they did this, where there's a mix of SLC and SL parts that blended this together. So you can see that this SLC trim stops, but then it goes to here, and I believe that this is SL trim. I was comparing it to the others, and the other like R107s way back when, and it really looks like this is where the SL makes like a hard turn right here to go into the top. Now, Johan Volders, if you are into these cars, he has a similar car. I mean, it's crazy because it was exact same color scheme done by Nico Michael. It's almost as if they copied this car. I don't know when that one was built, or heck, maybe this car was a copy of that. But the crazy thing is that they both have Recaro seats in the same color, and they're the other one's a big bumper car. I put that steering wheel on there. I have a factory one if that's something that somebody prefers, or if I switch to the AMG theme, then of course I would probably put an AMG wheel on there, which of course I have because I'm so into these cars. I also obtained a blue armrest I was thinking about adding that, but again, and this really needs some cleaning due to the time that it's spent in storage. But I can't wait to get back in and drive this thing. It is fun, in my opinion. This is perhaps the longest video I've ever made, and I guess that's because I'm doing something I like here.